Hey, it's Tom Llewellyn with Civil Governance, and this is kind of a new endeavor, something I've been working on for a, a long time, trying to find something that can bring the parties together and end all this animus and foolishness and political power brokering and just all the crap. Not to be too crude, right? And it's the third way. It's what is that principle, that singular point that we could all say, I kind of agree with that. And what I'll do over the course of, a bunch of weeks is take specific topics and talk about them, right? Like, what is socialism? Does it work? What is capitalism? Does it work? How about federalism on one side? And on the other side, we have a group of nationalists that say, let's make every problem a problem in Washington takes care of, So we'll go through things, but at the end of the day, I thought, hey, who's Tom Llewellyn and why is he even doing this? So for 40 years, I worked in the technology industry, and one of the lovely things about my jobs were I got to meet with C-levels and big companies, and these are really, really well-run companies. I mean, really well-run companies. You got to be, or you can't be a big business. And so they have all these best practices, they have all these innovations, and they're really good at it, right? Or they wouldn't be big. But when I worked with government, and it's always part of the package of enterprises that I worked with, government's big, right? It was surprising to find out that best practices were never, ever used. Or if so, very, lightly. And if that didn't work, the way they wanted to do it politically, they said, we can do something else. Not well-run organizations by any stretch of imagination. Not bad people. I mean, I work for the government right now, doing just an easy job to kind of fill time as I am retired and downsized, as you can see. So the life of a person working in that industry specifically, it was pretty gruesome. It's like death to how am I going to succeed here? Because I'm all about innovation and these guys are really not. But anyway, so, as the century turned, I began to notice that we were going sideways. And we'd been going sideways, it turns out, for over 100 years, with one political party basically leaning into socialism pretty hard and espousing big government as the solution, and the other one kind of doing the opposite. And then over these last 25 years, what used to be a little bit of an intersection turned into this giant wasteland where no person dare go, for fear that their own party would say, you're out of here, we don't like you anymore. And we've just gotten to a bunch of name calling where nothing gets done. And what does get done isn't transformative in a way that improves government. I mean, it's essential. So what I'll talk about is the key principle and how it works, and some examples of not using the principle and how it doesn't work, is something simple. I mean, it's something we absolutely all agree on. It's like if I give somebody $1 for anything, I expect at least $1 in value or more, right? Or more. When big businesses or any business delivers you service and it's not even worth $1, you don't use it again. It wasn't worth my time. I can get something different, maybe less expensive. That's better, right? So there's this continual decision-making by people at our level that says, let's get better every day. And then there's the people in government that says, how can I spend more money to make me look good, right? Even if the stuff doesn't work, it's great because I can say, look at all the money I'm spending. So anyway, so next week, we're going to take the divide and look at the media and how over the last 45 years, it's separated as well. And it's made your life worse. All right. I'm Tom Llewellyn. I will see you next Tuesday morning, hopefully bright and early, and talk about the media. Thanks.